Farbster.
What's up, guy? Yeah, absolutely.
What's your full name, brother?
Danny, like my full Daniel J. Farber.
What's your J?
It just stands for, it doesn't stand for anything. It's just a letter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like Hunter, not Hunter S. Because there's an S there. It's Harry S. Truman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't stand for anything.
Doesn't stand for anything either.
You probably looked up a whole list of people who just...
I had to, for growing up, I had to have other examples that was a thing. My parents weren't just super odd about.
So your dad was just like, you know what?
Yeah, I'm named after my dad's mom. So my grandma passed away when my mom was pregnant with me. She found out that my mom was pregnant before anybody else knew. Before my mom knew, which was kind of cool.
Wait, your grandma?
Deanne Joyce. And then I'm Daniel J.
Oh, okay.
So that was and they didn't want the J to be for anything. They thought it'd be cooler. The bummer part is everybody thinks it's J-A-Y, and then I gotta be like, it's just a letter.
Well, that's how it was with me. My dad's name is Fred.
Okay.
So he passed on the Fred.
Sure.
And then they threw in, my full name is Frederick Tyler Paul Purcell, and just my uncle's name was Paul. My mom's like, you know what?
Whoa.
Let's throw in another name. Why not?
Whoa. Yeah, that's such a British thing to have 4 names.
I don't know why.
But you go by the 3 name.
Yeah, I nixed the last name.
Yeah.
So everyone thinks Paul's my last name.
I thought Paul would be your last name.
Yeah.
Freddie Tyler Paul.
Yeah, I felt like that was just more of a catchy little...
Damn, I didn't even realize those were all your 3 first names.
Yeah.
I know. You have 3 first names.
People always think
That's
it's
awesome.
like a group or a group of people.
Yeah, I could see why.
It's all me,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Am I close enough to this?
I think it sounds good.
This is
yeah.
good. This is better.
We're recording, yeah.
This is better.
You done a podcast yet?
Yeah, a couple. Not like a ton. But I've been in a couple podcasts.
You're my blackjack pod, 21st.
What does that mean? Oh, yeah?
21.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's go. Let's take this to the casino after,
let's go gamble whatever money you're making from that project.
No.
Can you even talk about that or no?
I don't know. No, not on camera too specifically because there was NDAs that I signed, but I think I could talk about the process about it and not get at super specific on details.
What was the last thing you were up to?
Work-wise?
Yeah, anything sexy?
Yeah, well, the one before that was also sexy.
Some porn,
little sexy. No, not actually porn or sex tapes. It was no, it's this hyper romantic vertical dramas that it's a new every 2 scenes is a new episode, and we shoot the whole thing vertically on high-end cinema cameras with full 30-person production teams.
Dude, that is so 2020.
It's so 2023, but it's such a fun thing because as a director, you have to I don't have my frame is now vertical. I don't
like that.
Yeah, it was definitely an adjustment, but I kind of like it at a certain point because it's fun to.
I do it too for stupid promo stuff, but I
if you block it properly and you restage the furniture and you don't have to have that much to make it look really good.
Dude, I'm just a square
Oh yeah, it's
at the end of the day the old
16 by 9
analog
Are you
TVs.
letterbox.
Or I shoot the 6x7 medium format.
Cool.
It's basically a square.
That's basically a square. 6x6.
And so I always end up just cropping my video like that because I feel like it's different.
Oh, so you genuinely like a square?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
It's just the nostalgia.
I've done 4:3 for a couple projects, and that's really fun because then you it's a thing that I didn't really start fucking with until I came out to LA with aspect ratio and stuff. Because you can just tell.
Or have you seen what is it called? Spectroscope? The really thin, long.
Oh.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know. It's 281, 288 or something like that. Yeah. I think one of my early videos we were going for widescreen and we accidentally went too far. It looks so shitty. But
you're just high as fuck. Your eyelids are making your own math.
You can just barely see what's going on.
What made you get into film though? Was there a moment where you're like, oh wow, this is for me? No, it was. I started acting at a young age, in theater and stuff. And when it came time for college, I was like, I want to go to be an actor. My parents were like, no. Bad idea.
Bad idea.
I think that's a Chicago
it was smart.
Parent mindset.
100%. Yeah, because nobody in my family is in the industry at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to go for filmmaking because if I can't be an actor, I'll put myself in my own movies.
Sure.
And they were like, okay.
That's what most actors end up doing.
Yeah, they like totally challenged me on that. And they were like, there's other jobs in film. We don't know what they are, but we know that a bunch of people work on a film set. So that makes
Most of them are not glamorous at all.
Yeah. No, it's so blue collar. And that was my first 6 years. I've been at this for 10 years now.
Oh, okay.
Winter 2013. So winter 2023.
Dude, I did the boom thing for like 2 projects once.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm not. Because I'm kind of an audio guy.
Yeah, true.
And first of all, it's not challenging, really. It's kind of...
it's a hard job for boom operators. That's physically demanding.
If you're running like all the mics around, you know?
Yeah, true.
That's tough. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's a different
The physical
challenge.
aspect to it is it pisses
this
me
is
off.
way sexier.
Yeah.
Like what you got here is like, this is, because that shit's so blue collar and everybody's sweaty and they're tired and you're on your feet and you just had bullshit Fritos at Crafty and farting over the place.
Not a lot of those guys are in good shape.
Ironically, because it's such a physically demanding job, but yeah. Yeah, I've seen some skinny.
It's a union. It's a union vibe.
It's a union vibe, but not the non-union vibes, which a lot of my directing stuff is.
Did you strike at all?
As an actor, yeah.
Yeah.
I went to a couple of strikes, a couple of rallies.
Throw some Molotovs.
No, I didn't get that far.
Some studio windows.
Yeah. No, wasn't a Molotov kind of guy.
So you did Chi-Town 10 years ago, huh?
No, I've only been out here 4.5 years. But yeah, started in...
Were you saying you did some of the Second City shit? A
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did some stuff with Second City, and IO is like the other improv house out there. Yeah, super fun. It's a good time.
I grew up on all those fucking actors.
100%. It's a pipeline to SNL, or used to be the pipeline to SNL.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you feel like it's still... No.
It's Groundlings these days. If you want to do SNL, you do like sketch at the Groundlings, or you do TikTok.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But even still, there's like influence of like other comedy houses. But why would you not want to be affiliated with that institution? Yeah, like you want to be like part of the institution, then just like take a class and
Did you ever go in Chicago? There's like a Saki, what the fuck's it called? Not Bonsai. It's like the Saki improv show. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, that sounds sick though.
But it's like they just keep giving you fucking sake, but there's these improv Second City people.
Cool.
And they're doing like shows, and they have they try and bring the drunk audience members involved.
Sure. I've definitely been to like drunk improv in Chicago, or like improvised Shakespeare. Improv Shakes is so funny.
Yeah.
And it's so good. And you're just like, how?
I couldn't hack it at that world.
No, that's a skill. You need to train in that.
You can definitely train and learn it, but it's almost like something you are almost born with. Growing up.
Because first of all, you got to bullshit, but then you got to bullshit in like a different language.
Yeah.
And sell it. It's so fun. But when it's done well, it's so fucking funny.
Yeah. At what point are you even making money with that? Like,
I got a couple of friends that are making money doing stand-up, improv.
It's a tool for stand-up.
Or like other on-camera acting stuff, or like sketch is really, I think, a more direct pipeline into just the rest of the business. Because all your favorite comedians are writers,
right?
So they like start, like Tim Robinson, like has a whole fucking book of sketches before.
I fucking love Tim, dude.
He's so funny.
He came out of fucking, obviously he was doing the SNL, but his show it caught everyone so off guard.
But it was, my roommate and I just watched The Detroiters for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's with him and Sam Richardson, and you can tell there's like direct rip-off, like not rip-offs, but like they lifted a funny bit from this scene to make a whole sketch out of for I Think You Should Leave. Like it's the precursor, the DNA's totally in there, which is fun. I like, in hindsight, I love that.
Dude, I did this thing probably like 5 months ago, but I played keys, and one of my buddies was playing guitar. And one of my gals, Chris, who plays drums for me, she was drumming. But we were doing the soundtrack to Back to the Future.
Cool.
And Sam Richardson, it was like they were doing the whole script.
Okay.
Saying the whole script.
Yeah,
it was like the anniversary.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, and he was playing Biff, I think.
Cool.
And
that's sick.
But there were a bunch of like SNL guys.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah. What were you doing on it?
Just playing synthesizer.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
It was awesome, dude. It was a lot of fun.
Cut to that right now.
It was like it was at what's the theater in Beverly Hills?
Playhouse?
No. Dude, I'm so bad at remembering. There's like a million theaters out here, but it was
is it the Geffen? No, that's more like Brentwood. I don't know.
Who fucking knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember anything anymore.
Fair enough.
I think all the fumes from screen printing is melting.
Is that why your memory is shit? Is that what we're gonna go with? The podcast is called Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Have you been to any shows out here?
Music?
Like, yeah.
Yeah. I've been like doing a lot of music videos.
Oh, yeah.
So then when these artists that I work with,
constant cash out here.
Yeah.
If you want to be doing it.
If you want to be doing it, I'm not like a shooter editor. So like I build a whole production around an idea kind of thing. So it's like you need like the capital to do it, and then that's going to come in few and far between. Mm-hmm. 2022, man, I fucking pitched on like 8 videos and I booked 7 of them. I like couldn't not. It was great, which is cool. And then that became a thing where I was just like doing a lot of music videos that year because every 6 weeks there'd be like another one that would come through with like a decent budget. And then when those guys would then have shows in town, I would see some of that stuff.
I don't know where these musicians even get money for this shit. Unless it's all fronted.
A lot of it's label, but not all of it. You know? And I try not to. I'm just like, how much do we have to work with?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't really, you know what I mean? Like, I'll make something with what we got. Yeah. You know,
you just want to get paid. I did some extra work when I first moved out here.
Sure.
Which was so.
How long have you been out here?
3 years since September.
Oh, okay, nice. Look at you, you're so fucking established. That's great.
I guess
this is a sweet fucking pad. This is sick.
I did my new spot. I'm really excited about. It was a steal with the amount of space I got. I feel like most of these.
Was that you or was that me?
That was me.
That was so loud.
I'm gonna turn that off.
Holy shit. It sounded like that was in the microphone.
In your soul.
Yeah, that was reverberating. It was like deep. I felt that in my chest.
Sometimes I have these cranked, and I'm like working on a song, and you're just like reverberates down your spine.
And you're like, oh shit. Were you ever so off topic? You ever a Coheed and Cambria kind of guy? You know Coheed and Cambria?
I know them. Yeah. I played a show when I was playing with. I toured with this artist, Kate Flay, and we were playing.
Oh, Kate Flay. Yeah, cool.
I played.
It's Strange.
Yeah. And they played right after us at
Coheed?
Milwaukee Summerfest.
Summerfest? Yeah, dude. I worked with a couple artists that did Summerfest. Back when my Chicago
It's one of the best.
It's awesome.
Because it's like a million artists.
And there's like 800,000 people come in over the course of the month or whatever. Like it's insane. Like it's the exposure level at a place like that.
Yeah.
Even if you feel like you're one in like 1,000, that was me. That was also.
I think that's me. I gotta.
Wait.
Turn this off.
No, but I do have another Slack.
Oh, is it a sexy Slack? You just got.
That doesn't make any sense. Okay. No, not a sexy, but it is about like
dealing with execs is gotta be hard, right?
I think at all aspects, it's a hard job to make. To like tell stories. I feel like I've done a lot of like making content, and I'm starting now to. That can't be me. Is that you? Is there any? That's wild. That's so loud. That is.
Turn that Wi-Fi off.
Yeah, baby.
Sorry, brother.
To be anything in this process is a difficult job.
Yeah.
And I'm like respecting that, because what they do is something that I'm not good at, and I think what I can do on set is something that not everybody has those skills. And hopefully people also just like, hire me because they like the product that I can then deliver.
Sure.
So I really want to. It's a fine line of like, well, you like me because I can deliver something in a certain way, and then you want me to deliver it in a way that aligns more with the expectations that are set up. So then I have to figure out a way of satisfying expectation of a studio or an executive or a client or whatever, well maintaining, not even like integrity, but more of like the stamp that makes it. I think it's like the stamp that makes it mine.
Yeah.
But truly, I'm like learning to let go of that.
Yeah, you want to be happy with it.
But it's not even about me being happy with it. It's about them being happy with it because it's their money and it's their thing. Yeah. But it's about an audience getting what we're doing. Mm-hmm. And it's more important to me that we're telling, like, it's cohesive.
It's got to be annoying though, as the guy making it, getting input from someone who probably isn't artistic at all, you know.
I've had those experiences. I'm not currently in that experience. I genuinely, like, I think there's a great rapport with this studio where, like,
that's good though.
It's not like
like some of those high level execs who just were almost born into executivism,
into they have it in their blood. You know? I'm the eldest boy.
well, that's kind of how it is, right?
I don't know. I am now. It's such a new thing for me to like work with like actual studio executives that I don't have enough experience. I'm sure. I mean, if you look around,
you don't want to get caught talking shit about an executive.
Also that too, but like, but if you just like look around, like everybody can be like, what? Discovery bought HBO. Like the fuck executive over there was like, oh, you know, MythBusters is gonna outrank The Sopranos, or like what? The whole cachet of. On that level of shit, that's something that they're fucking. That's got to be difficult to work with. But it's like more money, more problems.
That's true, though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, where they started throwing, like Sopranos level of money at your project, where you don't even know what to even do.
Like Game of Thrones level of money. Yeah.
Where you just like, I got to spend this because
it's there.
Yeah,
and
that might not even be good for a project.
Oftentimes it isn't.
Yeah.
In my experience, as like, but I'm not like a tastemaker or anything. But
sure,
I'm really good at like saying like here, like tell me how much we have to work with. I could stretch that dollar. What I'm learning now, which is kind of fun, is like I don't always know the ins and outs of as a director for hire. Sometimes I really only know what I'm told, and I really only ask about what's important to it. So I'm not limited by actual restrictions of like, well, we can't really, because if I'm just like, ooh, it has to be, 30 people in the back of this pickup truck or whatever the thing, then, okay, well, that's the vision. And then they can agree with that and they take the budget from whatever their money,
Yeah. Well, you're not doing CGI up the ass right now.
Not yet. I've done some.
Have you?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
that sounds hard, man.
It's so tedious, but if anybody ever needs a VFX house, Pendulum VFX, those are my boys over at Pendulum.
Some free ads.
Free ads, man. I'll fucking plug them all day. Pendulum.
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 Interesting.
Yeah.
That's another one of those things where how many people do you need to fulfill a CGI idea?
Oh, I don't know.
That like that's so out of my world. I don't even know.
So there's I don't even know, and I'm not the guy to talk to about it. Other than the fact that my experience with it starts in previs, and you like have a concept, and then you start breaking down the practical aspects of like. Okay, there's a guy
screen, blue screen up the ass,
whatever. Yeah. Shove it up the ass. You're like,
cameras everywhere.
We made a Corvette fly off a cliff.
Oh, sick!
That was cool. We used like miniatures, which was like sweet.
Oh, that's cool.
And then we had to get our angle to match exactly.
I'm a sucker
on the
for
studio.
real effects.
It was practical. I love practical effects. Yeah. I also for a while was doing like practical credits in my videos. So like it would like directed by would be like a physical thing.
I like that.
Yeah, that's fun when you can do that. But that's not going to be all the time.
And then when it comes to music, it can very much just be one guy in a room. Can
do all of it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
I have done a few projects. But yeah, I write all instruments for my music. And
are you trained? Like, can you read music? Can you?
See, I trained, I got a degree in music theory.
Okay, so yeah, I would say so.
I was pretty trained at the time, but I'm pretty much everything by ear. It's just when I'm writing, I don't write shit down. I record it, and I remember it.
But have you ever had a thing where you're like, how do I play that?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Every once in a while. It's usually I can figure out what I did.
Yeah. It's fresh enough in your muscle memory.
Yeah. It's one of those things where, like if a painter can look at his painting sort of and be like, oh, I know what color to use for that. You know, it's kind of a similar idea, at least for me.
Sure. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously you need to be comfortable with your instruments to do that.
Yeah. how long have you been doing it? 10?
Yeah. I mean, I started playing guitar when I was like 9.
Okay. What are you, 40?
13.
I've only been at it for about 4 years.
Yeah. Funny enough, I taught myself piano in a chapel piano. Like after basketball practice, I would go and I went to a Catholic high school.
Cool.
And I would just go teach myself piano. In like the chapel.
I dig that. That's
it was not a divine intervention.
No, I mean it kind of was.
Maybe it was.
Music kind of is, you know. I love piano. I love the keyboard. At
the end of the day, piano. Like I love synthesizers, obviously, but just piano.
Synth heads don't come for his neck. Okay.
You see my shirt?
Dibs on the nerd playing the synthesizer. Nice. Nice.
I gotta get you one of my tees.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're screen printing.
Yeah,
Did you make that?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Who is it?
Some fucking nerd.
It looks like Steve Urkel.
Yeah. I literally just Googled 80s school book.
Dude, I think that's
school yearbook nerd portrait.
That's Urkel. That's just it reversed.
It's
in negative.
It's a white Urkel.
It's a purple Urkel.
Yeah. Purple Urkel. Yeah.
That's the name of the episode, baby.
Did you ever watch Revenge of the Nerds?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
forever ago.
I think that was one of the. There was a scene where they're playing about this like bunch of synthesizers at the end of the movie.
Okay.
And it was like.
Is that what got you into it?
A little bit.
That's cool.
Because first of all, the nerds end up getting all the chicks at the end of the movie.
They shall inherit the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think I was going through a slight phase. You know, when I learned like all of my I think taste from my dad, who kind of I think his prime was the 80s. Like his fashion, his youth.
He's like it imprinted on him.
Yeah, I was wearing all of his shirts, t-shirts.
You got an 80s vibe. You got a total 80s vibe. The hair, the fucking
my
tats,
music definitely fits into that too.
Yeah.
And
that's cool.
I think
synth anything feels very 80s.
Yeah, my dad just imprinted that on me.
That's good. That's a nice like pop cultural thing to. Mine is much more lame. I remember the moment though where I wanted to be an actor.
Oh yeah.
Was watching the outtakes for Cheaper by the Dozen
with Steve Martin
and Bonnie Hunt, and it was the outtakes for Cheaper by the Dozen, and they had so much fun.
Yeah,
it just looked like a fucking gas.
I mean, that's why we do this shit, because it is fun.
It's so much.
It doesn't feel like work.
It totally is work. I enjoy doing what I do, but it's not. It's not.
It is work.
It is work. It is.
Well,
for sure.
You chose a path where you have to put in a lot of work.
You got to put in so much work.
I feel like I've found things that are making me money that don't feel like work. At least
I've had those, and in this, I'm kind of at a point, or like a phase where like every opportunity is a little bit bigger than the one before it. So every opportunity feels like I have to take this thing head on.
You got a lot of people relying on you.
I got myself to rely on me. You know what I mean? Like I'm the only do we stop recording over there on the sound part of it? Oh no,
it's still wrong.
Sorry, my fucking mind was like, we rolling? We speeding?
No. I mean, I'm managing like 400 things too. So
yeah. You get it. I don't know. So I just like want to do a good job, and I'm also very cognizant that I feel like a lot of people, like what I have, they're opportunities, and people would work really hard and would give a lot to be kind of
what you're doing.
Doing what I'm doing. So I have to like treat it with that respect. That but it doesn't take away from like how much work it is. And sometimes like when I'm like acting in something, it's a lot better to be like, whew, Somebody else is going to take care of the vision.
Sure.
Sick. That's when I get to have fun. Yeah. That's where I can show up on set and I can play and be in the blooper reel. Mm-hmm. You never see the director in the fucking blooper reel. No. That's not the director's job. So
are you writing anything right now that you are?
I wrote a short that executive produced by Amy Poehler, which was really, really a great opportunity to be somewhere in the tertiary part of her orbit. But like, I wrote that. I feel like I have a good voice to write for myself, to write full stories and build world. I'm not a world builder. I can add to somebody else's thing really well. I'm like I'm a little piece of the seasoning. But to do something from scratch, I much rather have a writer be like, here's the thing. And then as a director, I'd be like, okay, cool. So here's how I see what you wrote.
It's tough to be all of that, you know?
Yeah. And I hate the thing of like, you have to do all these things. Maybe today you do have to do all these things, but like, man, this industry's been around for about 100 years. And that was
it was never.
I mean, let me just do the. And now I'm not really writing a lot of the things I'm directing.
It's usually more fun when you bring other people too.
Yeah, it's a different perspective on the story. It's a different perspective on the story.
That's how I mean, lately I've came out with like 3 records.
How much of your stuff do you write for other people that you don't put out for yourself? Not to cut you off.
Music? Yeah. Not really anything.
You don't write music for other people?
Not really. I mean, lately, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to get away from just being solo dolo boy, you know, and trying to collaborate with more people.
Sure.
I was producing for some people in the past.
But that's not the lyrics, but that's writing the music, right? Or putting it together, building the sound.
It depends. It depends how talented the artist you're working with is, because there are artists.
Yeah, if you're doing the heavy lifting for them versus they come in with a full ass idea.
There's a lot of artists that are just singers in LA.
Sure.
Where you kind of have to make the song and have them sell it with their voice, you know.
Cool. But then, do you have the song kind of built and then you bring in the vocals, or do you
usually? Yeah.
So you have a cachet of here's something. If you have anything you want to lay over this, that's cool.
Yeah, occasionally, I do like working with people who are amazing at one thing.
Yeah.
But I almost kind of like working with people who are more jacks of all trades, where they're like,
sure,
hey, let's. I know exactly what I want to put on, like with some keys or guitar.
Yeah.
They're just something. Because I'm doing that, something where I can sit back or try.
Well, dude, that's when you can groove.
Yeah,
it's exactly. Like when you don't have to be 100% on at all times, and you trust another artist to come in with their instrument,
right?
Whether it's whatever instrument it is, their voice or whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. And that's the fun thing with some of these scripts where like I can only hear it in my head until an actor steps on set.
Yeah,
and then I'm like, oh, this is so much different
because
they're bringing their part to
it,
which is awesome.
And that's the good part. Like, you don't want to be everyone's just watching you trying to mold this whole thing together. So like,
it's not going to be good.
It's too much pressure almost.
It's also too much of like one thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Shit, I should have leaned into the.
We'll amplify that.
Yeah, bring it up. Yeah.
But I think that's why, at least. That's why bands exist. Obviously, bands, for the most part, I think you go back to any band and find 1 or 2 people who are the heavy lifters.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
But
what's a good example of a band that's the opposite of that, where everybody's pulling their weight? I have a couple of classics. I was just going to say, I feel like the Beatles, but like...
To a degree.
Yeah, mainly those John and Paul, and then George, but... Brockhampton.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like 15 dudes.
Yeah.
They can't all be on payroll and not fucking be working.
Yeah. I think too, that's also a marketing thing where where it's like,
yeah, totally.
There's usually the front man.
Kevin Abstract.
Who people think is the guy doing everything, or sometimes is like Brandon from Panic at the Disco. Or
Brandon, he's the only person part of Panic at the Disco from the original.
Yeah,
Panic at the Disco,
exactly.
which is crazy to me. Brendan Urie,
right?
Yeah,
and but there's just so much behind the scenes shit with bands. I was in a band in Chicago for 7 years.
Were you really?
Yeah.
What band?
Ember Oceans.
Who was in the band?
For
7 years. Where did you guys play?
Kind of like all over the Midwest. But
what Chicago venues did you guys play? Everything.
Every venue.
Everywhere. Did you really?
Yeah.
Have you played Shibas?
Yeah.
You played Lincoln Hall?
Yeah, once.
You play Reggie's?
Yeah.
You ever play the Elbow Room?
No.
Ah, I love
that
the Elbow
place
Room.
Closed?
Maybe during COVID.
I'm thinking of the Empty Bottle. That place closed.
Oh yeah, the Empty Bottles. What I was thinking of, not the Elbow Room.
Yeah, the place is gone.
That was in School of Rock, right?
I might be right.
I think that was the opening of School of Rock. Was at the Empty Bottle.
Yeah,
and it's like they're on stage and the dude on his sidekick is like, "No vacancy sucks."
Dude, I just saw another Jack Black, Tenacious D. Have you seen that?
Love Tenacious
Great.
D.
But there's a scene where he's singing like his microphone lights on fire. And I just found out that was at Alex's bar in Long Beach. And I literally lived like right there. And I would go there all the time.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
It was Explosivo, I think, was that song.
Everyone's heads are exploding.
Yeah. He hits that note. And it's like, that's good.
I would love to see those guys live because I know they're actually not a joke, you know.
No, they're in Kyle Gass as a guitar, as like a producer musician. I feel like you can appreciate how fucking good Kyle Gass is.
Right.
Yeah.
I would love a second if they made a second Tenacious D movie
or just a new album.
Sure.
That was one of the albums my dad had on CD that I would listen to all the time, all the way through. And he got mad at me. I remember it was like 8th grade or something like that. And he's like, there's words in here. It's too inappropriate. You can't listen to this yet. It was about like fucking girls and like masturbating and like junk food.
Doing cock ups.
Cock push-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. I love the drive-through bit where they're like, I need 2 bacon cheddar cheeseburgers. I'm trying to watch my figure here. I was going to get 4. You know what? Take 2 chicken nuggets and shove them up your ass. You know? I only want a 4-piece. I'm watching my figure.
You know, I was thinking about, because I saw a photo of him, Jack, recently, and he's looking old.
He's old and big. He's bulbous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I, obviously we're getting old. Everyone ages.
Today's my dad's 60th birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Happy fucking birthday.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Shout out.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Daddy Farb.
Daddy Farbs. Jack Black, looking old.
Looking old. But like your idols, they start to pass on, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And then you're like, wait, what the fuck? Like, I grew up watching everything and listening to everything you did.
And then you got to be like, oh, wait, do I have to carry the mantle of pop culture that like appreciates this artist's thing? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Like, so much, like, when Bill Murray dies or Paul McCartney dies. Like, what the fuck? I've seen everything you did.
100%.
And that it formed who I am as a man.
Yeah, totally. I've always had this like race against myself or against like father time where I'm like, will I make it before some of my heroes die? So that way they know that I'm like a part of like the pantheon. Like, does that?
Sure.
I always thought that about like.
You believe in an afterlife?
Nah. Not like a full experience. I believe the soul goes somewhere else. Consciousness, I don't know. Maybe, probably. There's a cool. I don't remember what the theory, like the egg drop theory or something like that. Where you hear about this?
I think there was some witchy gal trying to explain this to me.
Oh, yeah. Let me be the witchy girl, the witchy bitchy to tell you right now. It's like it's like how is it when you die and you talk to a god-like figure? There's like a whole story that as you come through and you get told that reincarnation is the thing that happens after you die, but it's more so that you become every single person that's ever existed. like next time you'll be reborn as like a migrant from 540 AD.
And you're back in a testicle with all your sperms.
It's just you and jizz, just holding on. No, it's you live through every human experience, through every perspective of it. And only after you've done every single one from the start and end of humanity, you then become a celestial being. And then
it sounds exhausting.
It's forever. That's like eternity. That is like the theory that it's
That's
ongoing.
like its own religion. Is it not?
Call it Farberism.
Because do any other religions believe in that?
I would imagine reincarnation probably like lines up in there, but I saw it on TikTok.
I'd rather just rot in the ground and be done with it, brother.
You're just like put me back in the okay.
I don't think I want to be coffinized. I don't want.
You want to be cremated? You want to be put into a tree?
I want, just throw me in the ground.
Trees are cool.
Just
fucking toss me in the dick.
Shallow grave, brother.
I see Frank Reynolds be like, toss me in a fucking dick.
Put me in the fucking Ferrari you launched off your cliff.
And then fucking blow it up. It's a miniature. We'll have to cut you down.
You have to film it, though, obviously.
Of course. I mean, those angles, my God. You gotta.
Yeah, I don't know. The death thing, I don't think too much about it.
Yeah. Well, today's my dad's 60th. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, 60. And Andre Braugher, who just from Brooklyn Nine-Nine passed away yesterday. He was 61.
Did they say what happened to him? Heart attack or something?
Brief illness. The fuck kind of sketchy shit is that? He died from a brief illness.
Some COVID shit.
What? I don't know. It's 2020. It's almost 2024.
A brief illness.
Isn't it crazy that COVID started in 2019?
Dude, I can't believe that was 4 years ago. Next
March should be 4 years.
Like,
dude, that's fucked.
It seems like yesterday, honestly.
But also a different lifetime.
Yeah.
Like in no way was that real.
Different, yeah.
A fever dream.
What did you do during the pandemic? Were you in Chicago?
No, I was out here. Moved out here like 7 months before. So I had like proper LA. And I was living in Van Nuys. And I just was
jerk off all day.
I got into a long distance relationship with a girl from college that I fell in love with, and we ended up dating for like 3 years and split up like 6 months ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it for the best?
I guess time will tell on that one.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. It's definitely one that like I'm like still, and I, nothing happened. Nobody like, fucked off or anything. But just became a thing where it was like, oof, what do we? You just wake up and it's 3 years later and it's like the world didn't die.
Right. I don't think I could do the long distance thing.
We were long distance for like 10 months, which fucking sucked.
Right.
Gave me a reason to go back to Chicago, gave her a reason to come out to LA during COVID. And then she was always like, before we even like started dating, she was like, I was going to move to California. I don't know if I was going to move to LA, but I like wanted to move somewhere warm.
Yeah. And
then I was like,
sometimes I get it. If you're in love with a location, you're in love with it. Your family's there or whatever. But like, I couldn't do another Chicago winter, dude.
I couldn't not do another Chicago winter. I just don't. You know what it is? It's not even the cold.
It beats you down.
It's the fucking gray. It's the dark.
Yeah.
3:45 in the afternoon and it's nighttime. At least here it's like 5.
Right.
That makes a big difference. It
felt like it gets dark at like 3, like it's dark at 3 p.m. there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Were you born and raised?
Yeah.
What part?
In Des Plaines.
I knew that. I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a Deerfield guy.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Des Plaines. What high school did you go to?
St. Viator. Those are our Heights.
Dude, we were in the same conference.
Oh yeah, what were you?
St. Viator. I was Deerfield.
Oh yeah.
That's so funny. Remember St. Viator had really good wrestlers.
Yeah, we had a good wrestling team.
You guys had a great wrestling team.
What
year did you graduate?
Oh fuck, 2014.
I was 13. My brother.
Cheers. Well,
I've been cheersing your microphone like 4 times.
I know. Cheers.
Make a little supercut.
I had 3 older sisters that went there.
To St. Viator?
Yeah. And none of us came out theists in any way.
Theists. Oh,
We don't believe in it.
I didn't realize. Is that a Catholic school?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Are you kidding? I wouldn't expect anybody to. Like,
You know what I would? You know what I would do? Because we would have church every Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever the fuck it was.
Okay.
And you would have to go get the Eucharist. You know,
No.
the body of Christ.
You got to dig them up. Is that the crackers? Is that where the wafers come in?
those are the Eucharist.
What's the? Okay, go on.
Basically, the priest christens the wine and the wafers, and you for some reason have to believe that it is the Lord.
The body in theology.
Yeah.
How are they? Where do they make the gap? The bridge?
Where that came from? The Last Supper. Jesus was like, for some reason, this is like my body, my blood, or some shit. And then
he didn't mean the food.
I think
he didn't mean the crackers.
He had some bread. He had some wine.
Okay, what do you?
In the Bible, I guess it actually turned into his body and blood. Like
there's some weird voodoo magic shit in the
it
New
is
Testament
like voodoo
that like
bullshit.
I just don't get how many the science, but you can't.
It isn't science.
There's
fairy tale.
The exact opposite of science. So like you can't.
At least that's my belief.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Yeah, and I. So you would have to go up and get the Eucharist, and I stopped putting my hands out, and like you can do this alternative thing where you just stick your tongue out and they put it on your tongue.
Yeah,
and I would stick my tongue out, and it was usually like they would have like some other kid giving it out who's like really crazy about God, you know?
Yeah.
And I had my tongue sticking out, and I would pull my tongue in like slowly, so my tongue would be like in my mouth.
So you would have to go into your mouth to do the. Yeah, that's so funny.
And I would be like,
what a little rebel,
like licking them a little bit.
It's also like wildly sexual.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For such a repressed. Religion.
I went to Catholic grade school too, and honestly, I felt like I didn't believe in anything by like 5th grade. I honestly felt
that's what I don't understand. Like, how can you?
Yeah,
it's like Disney adults.
It's like Santa, like
right, like where,
like what
are you holding on to?
You really believe?
You kidding?
Yeah.
Like, what?
But that's what it is. It's
also like with the wafer. What are they called? The Icarus?
Eucharist.
Eucharist. That is like, I can only imagine like it's manufactured from some plant and then packaged in like the body of Christ is in the fucking.
It's a plastic like jar.
But it's gotta be, it's the symbolism of it, which like, then why are we doing the extreme lengths to treat it like God? Like, it's not God, it's made in Indiana.
Well, that's the whole basis of religion, just believing
100%.
Without thinking.
100%.
You know?
Well, that's faith.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what, and the cool thing, because I'm Jewish, that would like the part that I remember while I was studying for my bar mitzvah, I asked the rabbi all these questions, and he was really good about just like things he didn't know. He just like the most Jewish thing you do. What do you think about it? Well, how do you think about it?
Yeah.
Be like, well, I don't know. But they're like, we encourage questioning the belief. Mm-hmm. It's in questioning the practice, like stone sharpening stone. Mm-hmm. When you study the Talmud or the Torah, you then become really good at getting to the root of the answer.
Sure, yeah.
And I was like, so they want you to question shit.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
I remember my mom would bring me to the mall Santa every like Christmas week.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
So like, you ask them.
What was your big mall in Des Plaines? Was it Hawthorne Estate?
Woodfield.
Woodfield. Oh, been to Woodfield Mall.
Yeah.
Dozens of times.
Classic.
Yeah.
Or a golf mill.
That I don't know.
Yeah.
Was it off golf?
Yeah, golf. It was in like Niles.
Yeah, sure. I love it.
So,
yeah.
Like only Chicago people know what the fuck we're talking about.
I love it.
But
who's listening?
Yeah. Yeah. But I would go there and he would set you on the lap. And I remember vividly asking this one mall Santa, and it's usually a good looking mall Santa, like good beard, good suit,
handsome mall Santa.
Yeah, and I remember asking him, how does Santa hit every house?
How can he do it
overnight?
How can he do it?
How?
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure he was like, it's just Christmas magic, brother. And I'm the
chillest mall Santa. Okay, what's a better band name? Is it the Chill Mall Santas
or
the
magic?
Handsome Santas?
Handsome Santas, probably neither. I wouldn't go with either of those. But
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. You vote below. Let us know.
and it was. I remember that moment where I'm like, fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what did it for you.
Kind of. That's kind of when I knew Santa was bullshit.
Yeah,
and everything kind of crumbled. Like Easter Bunny's bullshit, Tooth Fairy's bullshit.
Which has got to be just like a reckoning that you can't expect to, you know, I don't know, behave well at a mall while you're like, my whole world is fucking.
Yeah, I'm like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like, you know what, Santa. I'm good on presents this year.
Wow. You took your wafer tongue back inside your mouth.
Hey guys, it's Freddy. Some quick shameless self-promotion. Go to my website at freddytylerpaul.com, type in sex, drugs, and bad advice at checkout. And you'll get 15% off any order. That includes my books, my albums, my prints, my shirts, anything. Type it in and you're good to go. All right, back to the pod.
No.
It's like $30. It's AI. It cuts your podcasts.
Oh.
It's like, gets all your multiple tracks and it just cuts to this one and then this one and this one and then just AI does it in like 3 seconds.
Like it's like a plugin for Premiere.
I think it might be its own program, but it's like $30 and seems worth it if you have a podcast.
It seems like I'm buying that right after you leave.
That's a write-off too, my friend. Let me tell you, that's for the business.
Damn.
If you're making money off it, you know?
Oh hell yeah! All right, let's see.
All right, what kind of bad advice can we give?
Speaking of AI,
yeah,
I just found out my girlfriend used ChatGPT whenever we got into a big fight.
Oh, that's awesome.
She used it to apologize to me. Honestly, right now, I don't know how to feel about it. I laughed because of how ridiculous it was, but now it's making me realize what else she has lied to me about. What should I do?
Oh, so this opened up a can of worms.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's insane.
That's crazy. That's also hilarious. And I like that there was like, you recognize how funny that is. Yeah. So kudos to your girlfriend.
That's so lazy, dude.
It's so...
And disturbing.
But for people that aren't able to articulate their thoughts very well, it's cheating in a sense.
Yeah.
But if that's their general idea, unless her thing was like, make me an apology for this.
Right.
That's a red flag. I think it's a red flag either way. 100%. That's a weird thing.
She's never actually even said I love you to her. It's all been AI.
Very creative ways around the words I love you.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
God.
I'm enamored by your... I don't know. Yeah, but also if it was based, if the prompt, the root of it was like, you know, I am upset for this reason and help me list out a good way to express that.
You can't,
I'd get by it.
I don't know. If you can't offer a personalized response to first of all, it's your significant other.
It's your partner, so you want to...
It's not like you're the execs you're talking to where you want to say the perfect thing to them.
Because I've done that in emails where I've been like, I don't know the best way to make this sound legit. And it's not often, but a couple of times, especially for like cold emails and stuff. This isn't that. This is your partner. But I love the hustle. I'm not going to lie to you.
She's like on her way to work, like, ugh.
Fuck it. Check you. What have we got?
I honestly, I was watching... Or I was listening to some news anchor talk about ChatGPT being used in college and shit.
Sure.
And professors not knowing how to even like combat it anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's just so good.
Yeah.
And it's not always, you know, a replicant like printed take for you to even figure out it's an AI thing.
Yeah.
Because I would imagine the kids read through it and edit it slightly.
Oh, yeah. Right.
If you're smart.
Sure.
But...
it's like what we do with Spark Notes.
Yeah, right.
You know, like here's the idea of a thing, and then here, let me put an opinion on it.
Yeah.
But they just gives them an opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how much are kids fucking learning now? Probably not as much as they should be.
No, I'm terrified for the next generation.
For sure.
But you also got to, not only all of that stuff, which is so valid, the 2 years of COVID, whatever it was.
Right.
that totally
Stunted
derailed
them, dude.
any kind of shit. And it's like
And now they don't even have like attention spans.
social skills.
Yeah.
But also people were always bashing the generation below them.
Sure.
So let's be, maybe Gen Alpha is going to be better than we think. But also, does that mean the next generation's Gen Beta? Because that's hilarious.
I think. Oh yeah,
That's so
that would suck to be the beta
generation? Are you fucking kidding? What? Yeah. Just go right to Delta. Just say fuck it. You know, I don't even want to.
Who's even naming this shit?
Who's even name it? How does it get named? Like colloquially. How does that even?
There's one guy in Washington.
Why did it start in Gen Y?
I don't know.
Gen X. Gen X was. But then before, what is X?
The millennials.
Boomers. Gen X. Oh yeah, because they were like kind of like replace. It was like replaceable. It was like whatever. It was
Sure.
like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
That's how they got to X. But then they shouldn't have gone to. But they did. Millennials was next.
Boomers. Fucking boomers.
Fucking
dude.
boomers, dude.
Although we
Yeah.
give the boomers a lot of flack.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
the greatest generation, their parents,
yeah.
they all had like PTSD
Oh,
from
terrible.
like World War I and
Repressed.
like World War II.
Couldn't
The Great
communicate.
Depression.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah.
Which
And-
you can't blame them for, you know. Like,
And that's
how do you not?
that's what made the boomers.
That's what made the boomers. Really does kind of say a lot.
Yeah. Probably beat the shit out of all of them, you know.
Everybody.
Yeah.
They'd make jokes. That's the only way to cope.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting the belt out, you know.
Yeah.
And
you
then
can-
Gen X would make jokes about their parents making jokes because
Right.
the parent. And then the next generation's like they're too removed from it. Where millennials come in and they're like, "Whoa, the fuck!" And then Gen Z gets upset by it. They're like, well, "You can't make jokes about that."
What year was your dad born? 60?
63. So he's the last of the boomers.
Yeah. My dad was
Yeah.
57.
Okay, so he's a boomer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Some of my favorite people are boomers.
yeah.
You know.
My dad was very
dad.
much he replaced humor with proper emotional mechanisms, you know?
He replaced humor with that. He'd want to crack a joke, and he was like,
he made humor.
feel-
Humor was the focus rather than
yeah.
trying to deal with things head on.
He deflect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Also, was he
I
a
think I do
religious
that
man?
too.
Yeah.
No.
But he made you go to religious high school.
That was more my mom.
Is she religious?
She was, yeah. My dad would we would get the Eucharist and we'd leave immediately afterwards.
He was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great. Yeah. Let's fucking burn her up.
Yeah.
Let's go. I did.
He's
So I have like a bunch of younger cousins
Mhm.
that when one of them, like my mini me, got bar mitzvahed at 13.
Oh, did you do that stuff too?
Yeah, I got bar mitzvahed
Nice.
also. And I'm like 10 years older than this cousin that I'm talking about. They asked me to read Torah at his bar mitzvah, which is like a mitzvah. It's a huge,
Yeah.
it's a high compliment to get at. But then I got to relearn Hebrew and I got to like learn a whole Torah portion. And it's not even my goddamn bar mitzvah. And I remember I practiced for like weeks to know a Torah portion at his thing.
That sounds tough.
It was a lot, but I was also like, I felt, you know, and their Judaism is like very special to like that family.
Yeah.
And so I was honored, and like I took it seriously as like a responsibility. And then as soon as I did it, I look at my other cousin and I was like, I want to fucking get high in the parking lot.
Right before or right after? Oh.
As soon as I was done,
Oh, hell yeah.
she was like, I got a pen. So we like go out
Hell
there.
yeah.
We're hitting a weed pen. I come back in and my whole extended family's like, great job. Like, I can't believe you learned Hebrew for the thing. And I'm just blitzed. And I was
Have you read any
yeah.
Hebrew since?
no, absolutely not. No.
That'd be pretty sick if you could pull that out of your ass.
I couldn't match. I could like know how to pronounce a thing, but I don't know what I'm saying. It's a lot of yeah. It's all in the back of the the popcorn in the back of your throat. Trying to get it out.
I love a good when I was in Catholic school, we would celebrate Passover as kind of a
It's Easter.
yeah,
It's the same story.
like we would have like Passover food
Cool.
to just
That's cool.
I mean, Jesus was a Jew. You know?
Jesus was a Jew. You know, well, that's the thing. It's like it's the same fucking.
It's all the same shit. Yeah.
You guys just add a little bit more magic to the New Testament. You know what I mean? Like it was.
Dude, the Old Testament was a scary place.
Scary story. It is. There's some legit. Horrors.
I don't know what God had like some therapy between the New and Old Testament. Like he was so much nicer.
Yeah,
he was cutting throats.
He was out there
and
banishing firstborns and fucking
flooding the planet,
the whole planet, everybody. Fuck it, yeah. How dare you eat bacon?
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
Dude.
Like
it's fucking delicious.
You
made it.
Bo Burnham's got the best part where he's got a song from God's perspective, and he's like, I don't care if you eat pork because I made the entire universe. You think I'm going to draw the line in the deli section?
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
I love pork, though. Like I
try not to do pork.
Yeah.
Not out of religion, more out of like health.
Yeah.
I'll do like chicken shit or like turkey bacon.
Dude, I'm lucky. Although lately I feel like as I've gotten older, I have been thinking about it more lately. But pretty much most of my life, I haven't thought about what I eat or what don't eat.
God, I hate you for that. You're so thin. The worst.
I know it is a lucky genetics thing.
Yeah.
Although I do work out all the time. Like not all the time, but I stay active.
Cardio or strength training or
not a lot of strength stuff. I do a lot of yoga and
yoga's good.
And just like running stuff. Cardio stuff.
I started bringing a soccer ball on my runs.
Oh, that's smart.
It's way more fun.
Yeah.
Way more fun. And I don't like grow up playing soccer, but infinitely keeps you more engaged in the thing.
That's the secret too. Like I have a bike in my living room and I ride it. I ride it like every night while I'm playing video games.
Yeah.
So you just don't think about working out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I've gotten better at keeping a good cardio. Since the old breakup, I've had to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I try and get through the cardio and just eating less.
Have you ever done yoga?
Sometimes.
I fucking need it. I feel like I have like back problems, and I feel like my I get like a shortness of breath when I don't do it often. I don't know what that is.
Smoking? Do you smoke?
Yeah, pot.
Yeah.
Not as often as I have, but
no cigarettes.
No.
7 years in Chicago bands, you didn't smoke any cigarettes?
Dude, I could probably count how many cigarettes on both my hands I've
really
smoked. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I don't vape either.
I don't vape, but I've smoked a lot of cigarettes.
I think the vape stuff's worse for you than cigarettes, dude. At least
I think so.
At least cigarettes, it's like a plant, sort of. Obviously, there's a bunch of weird other shit. There's so much other shit.
None of it's good.
But you can get like American Spirits.
None of it's good.
None of it's good. Putting anything in your lungs that's
the thing.
Oxygen.
Like weed also isn't good.
Yeah.
But I love the act of smoking.
Yeah. It is fun.
It's great.
You look cool too.
It's a cool thing to do. Smoke drugs, it's cool.
Yeah, it's totally.
Tell me it's not.
I also think like my grandma, dude, she smoked at least a pack a day since she was like 12. She lived to be 93.
Dude, I know a lot of like still smoking in their 80s. And it's like when you stop smoking is the problem.
That's when
you just
your
can't
body
stop.
tries to like fix
and
what
then
happened.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
Whoa. I think there is something real in that.
Yeah.
I don't know scientifically what that is, but
probably not.
But like you said, like Willie Nelson,
right? He's
been smoking weed every day forever.
Snoop.
Did you see the thing a couple weeks ago where he was like, "I'm done smoking weed," and the next day he was like, "I got way too high last night."
Yeah, it was
I don't mean that
also
at all.
business ploy, dude.
Yeah, true. I bet there's something. Is
well,
there something?
It was
there?
like he had like some smokeless product thing that he was promoting. He's like, I'm done with smoke. What the fuck does that mean, Snoop?
I love that. That's a great.
And obviously it just took over the internet for.
That's so smart. Whoever came up with that.
Yeah,
that's really good. You got me. I got God. You know.
You got.
I'm such a fool for like if I see it online, my critical thinking is definitely limited to like in person.
Snoop cashed in his later age, dude. Like he's like
all he does
everywhere.
Tell me the last Snoop song you can think of.
Oh,
he hasn't made music.
He was Snoop Lion for a minute too.
Snoop Lion, yeah. Like he
was literally a character in Fortnite. He's in commercials. Like, he does everything.
He's been a Shark Tank. He's been a shark.
He's a banging agent, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Whoever is his agent,
working
probably making
hard.
Just as much money as he is.
Yeah, he's out there. He's plugged. I don't know. He's got his own thing. The Lion. I forgot about that.
I don't think anyone liked that moment.
No. I love it. I love that it existed.
You know? Yeah. What would you be if you changed your name? Be
well, what would my rap name be, or just an artist name?
Yeah, I guess your rap name. You listen to rap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate it, but I like.
You got one in the back burner?
I don't, but like DJ Puffy Puff. It sounds like a thing that I'd be like a 90s MC.
You probably get whacked by Puff Daddy, bro.
Oh, yeah. He's got some sketchy.
Have you heard about him lately?
I don't know. On camera. I don't
Yeah.
it seems sketchy as shit, you know?
Yeah, he was like basically holding hostage like his wife or some shit or something.
Nah, cool.
Something.
What would your rap name be?
You know, I feel like there aren't any more good rap names. I honestly think they're out. We're out of them.
I love that the rap name generator or the Wu-Tang generator.
Like, no more Lils. Please, for the love of God, no more Lils.
Where's a Big?
Yeah.
Biggie Smalls. The only one I can think of.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like he like owns that, you know? Not like owns it.
Yeah, but give me somebody else. Big Fat Joe.
Yeah.
Was fat.
Yeah. You're either fat or you're small, you know?
You're fat Lil.
Average size Fred.
Regular size Rudy. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's Bob's Burgers. I can't think of it.
Well, it was like, I don't know where did Lil start, you know? It has to go back to like early 80s.
I mean, Wayne is like fucking 5'7".
Right, yeah.
So he's little.
Yeah.
So,
it's either you are tiny or it's
right.
an ironic
and
thing.
you like, and you lean into it.
Yeah.
Or it's ironic. Calling the big guy tiny.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's another piece of advice we got? What do we got?
Yeah, I'm too white to even say a rapper name.
Yeah, it's probably fair.
Yeah. All right, let's see what we got.
What do we got?
All right, I'm 35, never had much luck with women. I've concluded that I'm ugly. Not saying that to put myself down or make this a woe is me type thing. It just is what it is, and I'm fine with that. I've just spent most of my adult life working super hard. I've always had a 6-figure income, and a few months ago, I sold one of my companies for 8 figures.
Let's go.
So coming back to my blunt question, if I'm ugly but rich, is it possible to date hot women? Yeah. I know I'll get that you don't want that type of woman. She's just using you for your money. Honestly, I don't really care about that too much. If the money is what makes me more attractive, I'm happy to use it as a tool. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, dude, the sex work industry wouldn't exist without guys like that. You know
hit it on the fucking head. Honestly, just fucking own it, dude.
Yeah. What do you like? You got the money. If you're not, or like if you want to change your physical appearance to make yourself more attractive, or you want to use your money to make yourself look more attractive, or just like find girls that love guys with money.
You just like look out the window in LA and half of the 70-year-old aged showbiz actors marrying like 20-year-old chicks.
Super hot girls.
Leo fucking 25-year-old girls strictly for some reason.
Yeah, or like no older than 25. Yeah. Dude, Leo is no longer a handsome guy, which is I get the
pushing 50, yeah.
Something probably.
Yeah.
But also just like not attractive in the way that like Ben Affleck will get back into shape.
Brad is still sexy.
Hey, Brad's got some weird shit going on with his life.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like Angelina Jolie's like suing him, and like he beat his kids, and like yeah, that's gonna.
I also heard Brad Pitt his face blindness. You ever heard of that?
No,
he doesn't recognize faces. Like
that's got to be so difficult as a public person,
right?
Where you can be like, oh, he just doesn't recognize me, but like that also sucks because he meets so many people.
Yeah, and he can be taken as kind of a dick.
Right.
Yeah, like I don't remember you. What's your name?
Right.
You know?
I've had a couple of those where I've done so many like random different like projects where I'll meet somebody and they're like, oh my God, like so good to see you. And I'm like, yeah, totally. How are you? But I've, it's not even something I've directed or acted in. I could have like assistant directed it.
Sure.
And it was on a day that was in the middle of like 14 days and it was like one of 40 people in the back, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Where I'm really good with faces, but I, for the life of me, can't play. And then I'll feel like a dick for the rest of the day. I'll be like,
I'm pretty bad with names, dude. Like I can recognize faces.
Yeah.
But I'm like, fuck, I don't remember your name at all.
Yeah. Totally.
And that's almost worse.
It is not great.
Yeah.
It's I think it's a generational thing.
Is it?
I feel like everybody in our generation is terrible. Unless you tell me your name like 4 times.
Yeah.
When I'm meeting somebody at a party kind of thing.
I think that's just a normal thing where like,
yeah,
you need to hear something multiple times.
True. Yeah.
I meet so many people on the weekends selling my shit around town.
Yeah.
And I rarely ask for their name.
Sure.
But they all know my name.
They know you from the guy from the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And you're like, great.
Yeah, exactly. Like
that's cool.
Like occasionally people I meet around town call me out. Not call me out, but like, hey, I know your stuff or something. And I'm like,
yeah.
Thanks, man. Like, what's your name? You know?
Sure.
Yeah, it's a reciprocal thing.
Right.
But it's in one ear, out the other.
But they don't know. Yeah. It doesn't stick.
No.
Yeah.
It's almost like, I feel like it almost has to be, it sounds like shallow, but almost like you have to, either there needs to be a transaction of you doing something for me or me doing something for you to me to remember you.
Mm.
You know, not like in that way, like you need to pay me. But like,
no,
like
but
there needs to be an event,
transaction or something.
You know, yeah. Exactly.
I buy that. That's valid. Or there's a couple of people that I know just from Instagram, and
Instagram's weird too with that.
And you can't tell me like a detail over a DM, and then expect me to remember the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, it's false relationships.
It's false relationships, and lately, and I don't know if it's an LA thing or whatever, but like. Had too many interactions that are like only fucking in the DMs, and then to be like, hey, like let's grab a drink or like let's get lunch or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
No, I'm busy with the thing. Great. I really care to sustain this. I don't want to know if you don't want to know me in person. I don't want to know you online, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or not like you don't want to know me, but if you can't make the time to like,
sure.
You know what I mean?
No, totally.
It's wild.
I in this town too. I do try really hard to connect with people that interest me, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like I find, I don't know, I felt like in Chicago it was almost harder to connect with people, and people weren't doing things at a very high level there. You know?
Chicago doesn't have like the go mode here for anybody is networking.
Right.
It's just a way of like, I love to connect.
Yeah.
Chicago's not that at all.
No.
It's too cool for school, or it's standoffish.
Yeah.
Or everybody's in their own bubble. And then that ceiling, there's totally like a professional limit.
Sure.
It's a high ceiling. It's the 3rd largest city in America.
Yeah.
But it is like, there's that mental blockage of like, they don't know what you're. This is just the only focus is the city. Yeah. There's no world outside of it.
Right.
Where LA, I think the world is like global, or the market feels global because everybody comes to LA.
Yeah.
So it has kind of.
You do feel isolated. That's what I felt very. I don't know if alone is the word in Chicago, but I don't know. I just felt like everyone who I was like artists would come here for a day and leave.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It felt like. It felt like just like this little town on a highway that people would
pass through.
Yeah.
Interesting. Chicago's, dude, it's so funny because we probably know a lot of the same people like in the music scene.
Probably.
Being like roughly the same age. But like, I loved the Chicago music scene in college. I went to DePaul. So I like stayed in the city for college, then a couple years post-grad. And it was right when, on the hip hop side of things, Chance had a whole renaissance that changed the music scene.
Totally.
And on the rock side of things, like the Orwells made it really big before totally imploding. Like Twin Peaks was tangible dudes that like were at the bar that were like playing shows in Australia. Whitney came out of nowhere and like becomes this international success. Right. It was really cool to like be around these bands.
The Orwells.
Remember the Orwells?
Those guys.
Dude,
They all got like accused of like rape.
3/5 of that band.
Yeah.
Fucking one of my roommates in college went to high school with them, so they would always be at like our house shows.
Yeah.
And at the time, they like had like a big Apple record deal, and it was like really cool.
I saw them at Bonnaroo too.
They played Bonner. Oh, dude, I remember. I wasn't there, but my roommates went to that show, and like Mario, like apparently climbed to the scaffolding, and like, total punk rock.
I remember that.
Total punk rock. I was at the Orwell's last show, just by happenstance. My old roommate and I like walking on the block, and we're like, we know this. This is the Orwell's. They playing a show right now.
Imploded from Facebook, really?
From a Google Doc.
Yeah.
With just like dozens and dozens of like awful stories.
Oh Jesus!
Like fuck these guys stories.
Well, they were always very like full of themselves.
They got a record deal at 17.
Yeah.
They didn't go to college.
Yeah.
They got like kind of famous in that thing. And I think that became a very cautionary tale for a lot of other people in the rock scene. Mm-hmm. What scene were you?
That.
Yeah?
Yeah, like the indie rock shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just did a thing with the Walters not too long ago. That's a fun resurgence because
that's a weird thing because that one song
they got 1 billion streams.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they broke up 6 years prior.
I Love You So, yeah.
I Love You So. I remember I went to Kalamazoo Fest to see Twin Peaks play because it was something to do one night in the summer.
I think it just popped off on TikTok and got them signed or something.
I Love You So. Walters?
Yeah.
It was TikTok.
Yeah. 7
years after they broke up or whatever.
Right.
5 years. But
So
I was in Michigan seeing Twin Peaks, and a couple hours before their set, they were like in the crowd, and I was like hanging out with them, and I told them it was the day the Walters broke up. I remember telling one of the guys from Twin Peaks, I was like, and I had never heard of like I'd never like knew bands that broke up kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was like as you get older with age, you know, all these people you think are going to be like, we're young and we're 20 and we're gonna live forever kind of thing. It's like no, bands break up. And his words were like, yeah, probably for a good reason. And it blew my mind. I was like, what are you talking about? They're like a staple. He's like, well, if they broke up, something wasn't right.
Dude, there's politics in a band people don't understand.
I bet. Yeah.
Because it's when everyone is involved on a creative project all the time.
Always. And that's because they're making money with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's
you're business partners and you're also like you're a marriage of everything. You're intertwining all of your thoughts into
personality and art and performance.
And ego.
Yeah, ego, all of it.
The ego is the worst part.
Yeah.
But that's also what sells the music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who's in front of the camera.
Do you miss being in bands?
I do. I do miss the camaraderie around it. People like you, you're all pushing each other to work on
You have a
shit.
fraternity.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a small fraternity, but that's...
I loved it.
Yeah.
It also, it makes, if you're a musician, you need to be with other musicians because for me, I was the only one who was like musically trained.
Mm-hmm.
So I was writing and producing everything and communicating, trying to teach my other players like theory.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it made me a better artist. And
where do you fit in the dynamic of bands? Like, are you like the lead man? Are you?
I was, yeah.
Yeah.
I was the singer, and
you write the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My drummer and I collaborated more than I was with the other the bassist and the guitarist. But
who was your drummer?
Parker Samanitis.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Joe Cox was the guitarist.
Cool.
Sean Groby was the bassist.
Do you know the Boxers? You know, like Duncan Lee.
I remember we played a show with them at the Metro one.
Did you?
Way back when. I don't remember them.
Sure. I did when they changed to Lovejoy. I did one of their videos. And then I was gonna record an EP in COVID, and I was gonna do it with Duncan Lee for the Boxers. And it just like fell apart. Yeah. I like wrote 4 songs.
I don't remember whatever happened to them.
He was Pookie for a second. He was living out here. I think he went back to Chicago. Fantastic musician.
Yeah.
Just like would be in like this voice out of nowhere. You'd be like, you're a full-fledged artist already. Like it'd be funny to see that happen. It's cool.
There was this is another one of those things that also
pushed me to leave Chicago. There were two people that were like old music industry, like Jewish record guys, you know,
Sun Records and
like,
Chess Studios or whatever.
Well, there was one guy. His name was Dennis Rubenstein.
Okay.
And he used to push all these 70s bands out of Chicago to get to LA. And there was another guy named John Ryan.
Okay.
And they were washed up record guys, but they still enjoyed trying to find new music and kind of mentor them. But they are also just kind of so out of touch with the modern industry.
Their heyday was decades ago.
Yeah. So it was like, take whatever they say with a grain of salt.
Sure.
But I kind of talked to them when I was like 18, 19. And they always told me, like, you know, if you want to really go anywhere, you have to leave Chicago.
You got to leave. Yeah.
And I think that's most creative showbiz industries at the end of the day. Unfortunately, it's just there's no investment in the music industry in Chicago.
Which is so antithetical to the history of Chicago.
Yeah.
Blues, like the whole, like the rock scene. Like,
like the Fall Out Boy era.
Wilco.
Yeah.
Like the Blues Brothers.
There's just always those moments in every city, though, you know?
Yeah.
But Chicago definitely.
Kanye. I mean, like all of these, like, but everybody leaves.
Yeah.
Except for Chance.
Right.
Like, is notorious. But, like, look, you know.
Yeah.
But.
Or actors, you know, like.
I had a very similar conversation with, like, it was did a show with actor from Mad Men, one of the main guys.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, and I was 24. He was like, you could stay here, become the best theater actor in the world.
Yeah.
And struggle to make a living. You can go to LA. There's going to be a lot more jobs. It's going to be a lot harder to do anything. But if you get caught into the system, your life will exponentially be more profitable.
Right.
And then the third thing was like, oh, fuck, I don't remember the thing, but I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking take the chance.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, Chicago obviously has an amazing theater scene,
incredible theater scene,
and opera.
Yeah. The Civic Opera House. Yeah.
Yeah, the Lyric.
Yeah. The Lyric Opera House. Yeah.
And but those are so different than mainstream. Like if you want to be a movie star or a pop singer.
Yeah.
Those are just different worlds, and
which arguably doesn't exist the same way that it used to.
Yeah.
Today.
You know what's funny? I saw Book of Mormon.
Great show.
Fucking 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably now. And TJ Miller was the lead actor. Isn't that funny?
Really?
It was
he did.
Yeah.
Book of Mormon?
He was the lead actor. And
that's cool.
And this was before he broke out in anything.
I didn't know he could sing.
Yeah, he was good, dude.
Yeah. From that same show with the Mad Men guy, the woman who originated the main female lead from Book of Mormon was on that show, and she got the whole cast and crew tickets when it came to town, and it was sick. Awesome. It was cool. Yeah.
I
was the only guy that went. It was me and all the hair and makeup girls. It was awesome.
What's wrong with that? Yeah.
No, it was great. It was fun.
Well, you know, and that's why I play with so many talented musicians in Chicago.
Yeah.
And some of them are still there. Some of them left.
The Chicago in the early 10s, though, had a fucking moment.
Yeah.
Through like the middle of the decade.
Oh, yeah.
There was a total scene.
Totally.
And maybe I bet it's still there. I'm just not there, so I have no idea what it is. And we're not at that age anymore.
Right. But it's dude, I swear to God, my band, we would play every other show we played was like inclement weather, dude. It was fucking pouring or a blizzard.
Yeah, fuck it.
Or you're freezing your ass off, loading in and loading out. Oh my God. Like,
what were some of your favorite venues?
Schubas is up there.
Schubas is great.
That was probably my favorite.
Schubas is great.
Dirty Nelly's in Palatine doesn't even exist anymore.
Okay.
But that one's up there. House of Blues, of course.
You play House of Blues?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Played there a handful of times.
The hardest to sneak into.
Oh, it's a fortress.
It's only one in, one out.
You can't sneak.
You can't sneak in a House of Blues. I did.
If you did,
I finessed it. Once.
There's the underground where all the load-in people come in.
Okay.
That's where everyone loads in an elevator.
Solid.
Like if you went there and just said like, "Oh, I'm with the band," or had a camera with you,
right?
You probably would be like,
could have figured it out.
Yeah.
No, I think it was like Catfish and the Bottlemen. They were playing. I don't know if you know them. They're fucking awesome.
They're amazing.
Dude, I love Catfish. And there was the bouncer was there, and my roommate and I had crashed like 4 weddings earlier that weekend. It was an awesome weekend.
That's awesome.
And then we're like, I wonder if we can get into this Catfish show at House of Blues.
Uh-huh.
And I remember finessing it, where she looks that way and I sneak in this way. And we're like, let's go.
Well, dude,
you know?
At some point, like I knew all the sound guys, all the people who ran all these videos.
Well, when you're in it too, you can.
I would just be like, hey, like I'd point at someone in the back, like, hey, like. Hey, and they would let me in.
Sure.
Like, dude, I remember Dirty Nellies in Palatine. They actually had what was it? Jack FM.
Jack FM.
What, is it them?
104.3 Jack FM.
Is it that? Yeah. Is it them who had the No-Do show, or 93.1?
No, XRT.
Yeah, the XRT had No-Do shows where you just like first come, first serve. You can get in this fucking show.
Sick.
And the 1975 played it. Cool. Dirty Nellies.
Cool.
And it was only a 300 cap room. Dude.
Oh, that's a great fucking performance.
Right before they dropped their like second album, so they weren't massive.
Okay.
But they were still popular.
Sure.
And yeah, I was just chilling in the sound booth watching them. And
just because you finessed your way in.
Yeah.
I love that.
And it was one of the coolest shows I ever saw because you were right there with them.
Sure.
Because it's a small venue.
Sure.
And I don't think they do those shows anymore.
Apparently, it doesn't even exist anymore. The bar doesn't even.
Yeah.
I was a video producer for Pitchfork Music Festival.
Oh, hell yeah.
For 3 years.
Dude,
the best weekend of the summer.
Pitchfork Lala.
Pitchfork was incredible.
Chicago is huge.
And
with
then to
festivals.
be the guy on the stage with all the artists and stuff. And this is before I really stepped into like directing videos, like music videos and stuff. Mm-hmm. I was like producing more at the time. And I'd just get to play hospitality with all the management and all the artists and shit. You know Alex G, Sandy, the artist. He's got a tone, like following whatever. He played one of my stages, and I remember we're like bullshitting before the thing. Big crowd of people excited to see him go. And I just was like, as he was like walking, I was like, hey, don't forget your lyrics. And he looks at me and he goes, oh. I was like, that's funny.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that's one of the funny things about being a singer is every once in a while it'll happen.
I bet, yeah.
Like for me, it was always like, it was usually the start of a lyric.
Sure.
And I could hop back on.
But you like,
yeah. It's just one of those things. And I had the biggest trouble with covers. If I wrote the song, I could sing and play it back to front.
Could be anything you need too.
But if I didn't write it, it was exponentially harder for me.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's the muscle memory isn't there.
Yeah.
As much.
Right.
That's interesting. What about Post Animal?
Oh yeah.
Were you Post Animal adjacent?
We played a couple shows with them.
Jake was. Joe Keery before Stranger Things.
I remember talking to him just.
I went to the same New Year's party as him 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
And it was right as Stranger Things was like getting really popular.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the coolest. It was one of the things to be like, oh, this is tangible.
Yeah.
Like to be involved in this industry is like an actual thing that can happen to people that like. Same thing with Ashton Sanders went to DePaul. And then we were smoking a blunt at 1237, which was like the freshman year dorms. Uh-huh. The next year he's in Moonlight and wins an Oscar. And like it starts doing all this shit. I remember 2 years later, he came back to Chicago to film this movie, Captive State with John Goodman. And I was like an additional PA. I was like nothing, locking up nowhere. And he sees me from across the set. It's a big union show, hundreds of people. And he's number 2 on the call sheet. Really big in this movie. And he goes, yo, Farber, what's up, man? And I was like, what is going on? He goes, no, come here. And I was like, dude, stop. I don't want to fucking, the 80s, don't even know who the fuck I am. And he runs up to me and like, he's like, yo, like whatever you need. I ended up producing a short film for like one of his best friends based off being in his eye line that day and us smoking blunts together like 2 years earlier. So fun to like see people grow in their career. It's so cool.
Everything in life too is just friends. You know, the success comes with just like networking, obviously, but if you can make
But that's the thing, the difference Chicago and LA.
Yeah.
Where like the modality here is to network.
Yeah.
Chicago is very much like those lucky few people got out.
Sure, yeah.
I feel like here everybody's got cool shit going on. Like this is super cool. You know?
I'm having fun with it.
Yeah.
I when I was in Chicago, I was much more introverted.
Yeah?
And I think Chicago kind of breeds that a little bit.
Yeah.
But
cold winters.
Yeah, you just hibernate.
Yeah.
And you're alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I moved here and I really didn't know anyone, like I really put an effort to reach out to people through Instagram, talk to strangers.
Good on you. Yeah. Even this, good on you for like being like, yo, come through. Like this was tight.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
And I just like doing this because it's like, I just make better friends.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a great way to fucking
like,
meet people too.
I'm not trying to be Joe Rogan, but.
I like a chill podcast though. That's tight.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just hanging out.
Talk about the chill podcast.
All right, let's do one more bad advice.
Yeah.
And wrap up here.
Sure. Yeah, that's perfect.
This one's bizarre. My grandma needs a kidney transplant. She just started dialysis maybe like 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure. My dad got checked if he was a match, but he wasn't. A couple of days ago, he said I should also get checked if mine could be suitable. I immediately said no because I don't want to.
Okay.
I never liked my grandma. She always treated my mom like shit, abused her when she was younger, so I kind of hate her. Also, she's a smoker. My dad got super offended and upset. People around me are saying I should do it for my dad, but I don't want to. Also, how can I tell my dad no in the nicest way possible without sounding like I don't care? It's your kidney, bro.
Right. I mean, valid. Yeah. I mean, that should be enough.
Yeah.
Is it your dad's mom or is your mom's mom?
I think
sounds like it's the mom's mom.
I think it's her dad's mom.
But she was abusive to the mom.
Oh,
maybe.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So that's why it's like I would ask your mom more about it than your dad.
Yeah.
Be like, yo, this is your mom. How do you feel about?
Yeah, the mom is even involved in this opinion.
You know what I mean? I think to break it to your dad, be like, first of all, I don't think you're the asshole.
She's 73. You know.
Also, talk to the grandma too to be like, hey, do you want me to potentially give up my next 50, 60 years?
Yeah.
Versus your 15?
You kind of.
I don't know.
I mean,
I would.
I don't want to risk fucking up my. You know, you only got one kidney, just railing through all of it. You know, you want to disperse that between two, right?
And if you're looking for bad advice,
yeah,
donate it.
Oh,
do it
or black market that shit, make a few grand.
Oh shit! Yeah. Donate it, but not to her.
Yeah,
that's the worst advice. Definitely do the thing,
or go to your grandma and tell her explicitly that you are not getting my kidney.
You're not getting my. Just like stop, but like while looking at your dad in the eyes.
How many other people are involved in this?
It seems like
he's getting flack for this.
I feel well, the whole family. Fuck them. They also have kidneys.
Yeah,
they can donate it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Honestly, that scares me. Donating.
I would see if you're a match first, because if you're not a match, no problem.
Do you know your blood type?
AB positive.
I don't know mine at all.
Or AB negative. I'm the universal receiver. So
that's good.
It's great for me.
Good for you.
I can take anybody's
You're
blood.
You're an asshole though.
I can't really give anybody blood, and I could take. But that's also why it's important for me to give blood.
Yeah.
I used to give blood, high school throughout college, like every year. It's like 8 years where I was always giving blood.
I donated plasma a couple times in college.
Yeah, make some money.
One of the worst experiences of my life, dude.
Really?
Oh, I hated it.
Why?
Oh, well, it was like kind of like this really fucking shifty, like gross managed place off like North Ave.
They just have your blood or your plasma.
And the machines had these vats on the top of them.
Okay.
That like you could see your blood sloshing around. Like, can't we like cover that up?
Right. I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see.
I like where it's in a little vial or a bag.
Yeah. Or I just don't see my blood at all, you know?
I don't have to have it in my eye line.
But you see it just splish splash like a little bath. and I was, and they paid you $50 to donate. And it was like a fucking like hour and a half like checkup to make sure you didn't have like
after
HIV
the fact, you gotta, like,
or something.
Hang out in the space.
And dude, everyone there was like
needs that $50.
Yeah. Like homeless, broke.
Yeah.
I remember going in the bathroom and there was this dude on the ground and he's looking at me and he's like, dude, I need some like water or something. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I can't help you.
I guess I can find you some water. He's like, this is my third time donating this week. And I'm like, you're only supposed to donate like once every 2 weeks.
6 months, I thought.
I think it's like once every 2 weeks at least. Because it's
woof.
Because your body needs to regenerate your shit.
At that point, just like donate sperm.
I think that's that's more selective.
Oh, they don't just take
anyone's jizz.
That's probably smart.
Believe me, I tried.
Did you really?
I did try.
Did you really?
Yeah, they're like, nah.
Are you worried about like having like random kids out in the world?
Yeah.
I want to freeze my sperm.
Yeah.
Just to have it, but I don't want to go through that process.
You want to freeze for yourself?
Just God forbid anything happens to me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good DNA going on right here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We want to pass that on.
For sure.
But
you want to have some kids running around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Time and a place.
You should just start a little freezer vial.
Right now. You gotta go to your bathroom.
There's a whole freezer in the back of my apartment.
Yeah. We don't talk about that freezer. It's a different thing. That's so fun. What part of Chicago did you live in? Like what stop were you off of? I guess all over. But.
Where I was, off like the metro. You mean?
CTA.
Oh, the CTA. I didn't live downtown.
Oh, you were never in the city.
I know. I always lived in the burbs.
Got it.
But I was always downtown. Pussy. I know. Well, I had a gal down there when
Where was she at?
Like Buena Park.
Okay, so like
that's
blue
where
line. Yeah, west side.
But I was living in a house with my band in the
north
in the suburbs.
Your suburb band. You're a suburbs band guy.
Hey,
that was your Orwell's where you're probably your fucking North Star.
I mean, most bands, they need to practice. Like they usually have
I don't know.
a little house.
Yeah, they got houses in the city. They're coach houses and stuff.
Yeah.
I've been to a couple, where they would like the band lived. I've been to a couple band houses.
Usually the worst.
The worst.
The worst
dirtiest
situation.
Fucking shit. There was like, my buddies were in Modern Vices. Love that band. And they would, I remember one time, they like all were like lofted. And it was one room. It was just a loft. So it wasn't even, like it was up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
All the mattresses were on the ground. And like maybe one sheet to divide them.
Oh,
I was like, the fuck? I don't know how long they lived like that. I can't imagine it was for very long. But at a certain point in time, I was like,
well, dude, like I feel like, believe me, music is just a money pit, especially as a young artist.
Yeah,
where you invest so much in the gear and the promotion and the transportation.
Oh, sure.
It's just like expense
and
after expense.
Anything you earn, you have to split with the rest of the band too.
Yes, exactly.
And
if you don't know how to produce and record, you have to pay an engineer to follow through with that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's steps to that. We have the recording engineer, the mixing engineer, the mastering engineer, booking a studio. It's just money out the window, dude.
I mean, same with film.
Yeah.
Although you could do a lot more with a lot less, probably.
Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, like, they have these pocket cinema cameras that are amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, you can really get away with a lot.
Yeah.
With a lot less.
It's just like you have to learn how to do it all. At least as much as you fucking can.
Yeah, and it's gonna make everybody better artists.
Yeah.
Down the line. But like, is that what the world needs? More good art? Yeah, probably. But like, I don't know.
It is incredibly saturated. All of these.
Yeah.
Industries.
I know that like I have a very superfluous life where like 2022 I made the most money I've ever made in my life, and it was predominantly through acting in commercials and directing music videos. Two things the world does not need more of.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing it. It's a fun way to make a living. But yeah, it's not like a.
Well, dude, I started like I always knew this. I just never dove into it as hard as I have. But like artists nowadays, they make all their money through merchandising.
Mm-hmm. And now you're skipping. You just go right to screen printing.
I'm just doing it all myself.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've actually have a solid income now.
Yeah, I bet.
Like I'm the
getting paid more.
The T-shirt salesman I was born to be. But it's but at the same like
yeah.
That was what my band was making all our money from too. You know, it was what I was always doing.
Yeah. So you're familiar with that. I got to get me one of them.
Yeah, I'll make you one right now.
Is it that fast?
Yeah.
How fast is it take?
A second.
Really?
Not a second.
Yeah.
But a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, is there anything, obviously you can't talk about your new project, but anything you want to like promote or talk about right now? Coming up?
I feel like we've kind of gone through.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to see anything, everything is Sir Danny Farber. So it's the Sir Danny Farber on Instagram, my portfolio and Vimeo, and I don't know.
Oh, good old Vim.
Yeah, check it out if you want. I got a deep fucking portfolio of just like random shit that I'm excited for, like the day that people can look back and be like,
yeah,
wow.
That's one of the reasons I got really into all of these things. I like having something to look back on, like recording,
totally.
Like just recording your past self.
Well, this is the art of it. It's like, this is where the soul lives in these projects.
Yeah.
This was a finite thing that now theoretically exists forever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I was feeling at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's what I love about it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. It's fun.
Well, hell yeah, dude. I'm glad I met you randomly at...
That was so fun.
At our sexy friends party.
It was a sexy friends party. I expected it to be a sexy... It was a sexy fun.
It was a sexy party.
Beautiful women.
Yeah.
What a town. What a world to live in. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for the show. You know?
We should do it again.
I'm down. Yeah, this is a great time. Hopefully when I don't have to rewrite my entire pitch.
Yeah. Or cast me in your next commercial.
This script does have 3 band members.
Fuck yeah.
Don't know how you are on camera. I guess right now,
I've been on camera a few times.
Yeah. We'll talk off camera.
Yeah. All right, dude. I'll talk to you. Peace out, brothers.
Like and subscribe.